Hello everyone, welcome to the online class of Matrix Methods of Structural Analysis. Now in this video, we'll solve some examples of bar structure using stiffness matrix method. In last 3 videos, we have discussed the stiffness matrix of bar structure, that is K equal to AE upon L 1 minus 1 minus 1 and 1, and also the procedure for the solution of numerical example. In third video, we have solved one example according to this procedure given here. Now let us solve some more example. So here, this is the first example. The two bars, one of aluminium and other of steel, they are joined together and subjected to load as shown in figure. Determine the displacement at common joint and also determine the member forces. The values of area and Young's modulus is given as, take area of aluminium bar as 200 mm square, Young's modulus of aluminium 70 kN per mm square, area of steel AST 400 mm square, and EST is given, Young's modulus for steel bar is given 200 kN per mm square. So here in this figure, as you can see, bar number 1 is of aluminium and second is of steel. Support conditions are given here. First, give the nodal points, node 1, 2, 3. At node 1 and 3, rigid support, fixed supports are given, and other details like at common joint, that is number 2, a force of 9 kN is acting in right direction. Now we have to solve this problem, that is we have to determine the displacement at the common joint, that is U2, and we have to calculate the member forces for both aluminium and other steel. So here first we'll assume U1, U2, U3 are the displacement at the 3 nodes, then calculate the degree of freedom. So degree of freedom, that is these 3 are the degree of freedom, U1, U2 and U3. So very first step, that is to divide the given bar structure into a number of members or elements. So as there are 2 members, so member 1 and 2, calculate their AE upon L in kilonewton per meter. So for member 1, aluminium properties are given, for member 2, steel properties are given. Take that values of A, E and L and calculate the ratio of AE upon L, that is axial stiffness. So for member 1 it is calculated as 100 and second member is calculated as 80 in kilonewton per mm. Then write down the nodes and displacement associated with member 1 and 2. So for member 1, nodes are 1, 2, displacements are U1 and U2. For member 2, nodes are 2, 3 and displacements are U2 and U3. Then write down the boundary conditions. So boundary conditions for U1, U2, U3 are U1 and U3. As they are fixed support, so U1 and U3 are 0. The displacement at fixed support is 0 while U2 is unknown. So only one unknown in this problem, that we have to calculate. Now let us see the second step, in which you have to write the element stiffness matrices for both element. So K1 is for the aluminium and K2 is for the steel. So for K1 you can write AE upon L factor, that is already calculated in table, you can write that, or you can write the calculations here. Area of aluminium is given 2000, E for aluminium is 70 and length of aluminium is 1400 into the standard stiffness matrix, that is AE upon L 1 minus 1 minus 1 and 1, that is given here. So that is calculated as 100 into this 2 by 2 matrix. Also write down the associated displacement of that for each column and for each row, U1, U2 associated with aluminium. Similarly for K2, you can calculate for steel K2, that is 80, 1 minus 1 minus 1 and 1, and write down the associated displacement U2, U3, U2, U3 for each column and for each row. Now after this you have to assemble the global stiffness matrix. So assembling the global stiffness matrix, it is a very important step. So here that K equal to, now first you draw the matrix, then write down the displacement. Now here the total degree of freedom for whole structure is 3, U1, U2, U3. So this global stiffness matrix, it will have the order of 3 by 3, containing total 9 elements. So 3 columns and 3 rows, they are associated with these 3 displacement u1, u2, u3. So write down for each column and for each row. Now here the very first element that we have to determine here, that is the element in u1 column and u1 row. So that element that you have to assemble from this above two matrices, that is K1 and K2. So find such a combination, the element in u1 row and u1 column. Okay. So here u1 element that is calculated from K1, it can be find as 100 into 1. So that 100 it is here. Now the next element, that is this u2 u1. Second element in u2 column u1 row, and next element in u1 column u2 row. So these two combinations are same, u2 u1 or u1 u2. Okay, so here these two elements that you have to again assemble from above two matrices K1 K2. So let us find here. So that is here u2 u1 and u1 u2. So both are minus 100 minus 100. So that you have to write here in global stiffness matrix minus 100 minus 100. Okay. Now the next element, that is the element in third column first row or first column third row. Both are same, u3 u1 or you say u1 u3. So that element, now as there is no such a combination exist u1 u3 in K1 and K2 in step number 2. So here that you have to write as 0 0. Now the next middle one, the combination u2 u2, element in u2 column u2 row. So find from step number 2 u2 u2 combination. So here it appears the red line that shows in K1 and K2. So here 100 into 1 and from K2 A2 into 1. So both are positive, so add algebraically that value 100 plus 80, that is 180. Next element, you say u3 u2 or u2 u3 with yellow line mentioning here. So assemble from step number 2. So here it is u3 u2 and u2 u3. Okay, so both elements are minus 1 into 80. So minus 80, that element here, minus 80 minus 80. And the very last element, that is 9th number, u3 u3, the element in u3 column u3 row. So that is here u3 u3 in K2 matrix, it appears 80 into 1, that is plus 80. So here that plus 80 appears. So this global stiffness matrix is completed, assembling all these elements related to their displacement from step number 2 K1 K2. So this is very simple step, but still you should be careful about the sign of that element and which element you are picking and you are writing at correct place in global stiffness matrix. So step 2, step 3. Now next step, that is step number 4, reduced stiffness matrix. So to write this reduced stiffness matrix, first you need to apply the boundary condition. So boundary condition that we have defined in step number 1, u1 and u3, that is at node 1 and node 3, as it is a fixed support. So therefore the displacement at that support u1 is 0 and u3 is 0. So imposing this condition to this global stiffness matrix means eliminate the first row and first column that is associated with the u1, and similarly the column and row associated with u3, that is third row and third column. So eliminate that. Here u1 u3 rows and columns are eliminated. So what remains? It is only this 100 plus 80, that is 180 element related to u2 u2. So only that element it will there in reduced stiffness matrix, and as it is correct that only u2 is unknown in the problem statement, so reduced stiffness matrix it will be simply a 1 by 1 element. Therefore reduced stiffness matrix is written as K equal to, here it should be a matrix form 180, that is 100 plus 80 u2 u2 displacement to the column and to the row, simply a 1 by 1 containing only one element. Step number 5, determine the unknown joint displacement. So apply the equation of equilibrium, that is K delta equal to F. Again here it should be in a matrix form, that is explained in lecture number 3 video. So K, that is reduced stiffness matrix 180 is written. Delta, that is unknown displacement, delta is U2 equal to F. Now this F is what? Nodal load vector. So for that you have to refer the problem statement. So in problem statement you can see at node number 2, that is at the middle joint, common joint, a force of 9 kilonewton in right direction it is there. So here this F is that force, nodal load vector. At node number 2, as unknown displacement is U2, therefore that force is related to that joint only, second number joint. So at node number 2, 9 kilonewton in right direction is present, therefore this F vector is 9 plus 9. So calculate this equation, simple equation, solve for U2. You will get the U2 value as 0.05 mm in right direction. As answer is positive, it means the assumed direction, that is correct, it is in a right direction. So here this problem ends. Now the next step, that is, it is also asked to calculate the member forces. So next step, that is of step number 6, calculation of member forces. So to calculate this, you need to apply this equilibrium equation K delta equal to F for member 1 and for member 2 separately. So let us apply for member 1. So K delta equal to F. So for all the letters there will be a suffix 1. Okay. So K1 into delta 1 equal to F1, where K1 that we have calculated in step number 2, 100 into 1 minus 1 minus 1, 1. Delta 1, that is the displacement. Now here it is only related to the member 1, associated with only two nodes 1 and 2. Okay, so there will be only two unknown displacement U1 and U2 equal to F1. So this force in F1 vector, there will be again two forces at node number 1 F1 and at node number 2 F2 force. So here U1 is known 0, U2 is known, that we have calculated in step number 5, 0.05 mm. Put those values here and calculate, solve for F1 and F2. So F1 can be calculated as minus 5 kilonewton and F2 as 5 kilonewton, plus 5 kilonewton. So that means that member 1, it is in a tension, right? F1 at node 1 the force it is in a left direction, at node number 2 the force it is in a right direction, positive 5 kilonewton. It means member 1 is in tension forces acting away from the bar ends. So this is for member 1. Similarly, you can apply the same equation for member number 2, and K2 delta 2 equal to F2. K2 is there in step number 2, delta 2. So there will be two displacement related to the member number 2, that is U2, U3. Put the values of that and calculate the forces related to member number 2, that is F2 and F3 and F4. Okay, you can give the name according to you, F2 or F3 and F3, F4. Okay, so those values are F3 is equal to 4 kilonewton. That means at node number 2 for second member, or you can call it as a number 3, 4. You can give the numbers like that. So at node number 2 for member 2, force is 4 kilonewton positive. That means it is in a right direction. For node number 3, the force is minus 4. That means it is in a left direction. So member 2, it is a compressive member. Okay, the forces, if you draw these forces according to their nature for that member, so you can see that forces are acting towards the member, towards that bar member 2. So member 2, it is in a compression. So here this way the member forces are calculated. Okay, it's simple. Simply K delta equal to F, that you have to apply for both members separately and solve for